Good morning again. My name is Dana Peterson, and I'm the Superintendent Director here at the Hannaford Career Center. I'd like to welcome all of our seniors, completers, families, friends, community partners, faculty, and staff to this important annual celebration. Let me begin by saying how proud we all are of the achievements of our students throughout the course of this past year. In just a few moments, you will hear about some of the students' accomplishments and contributions. And I invite you to join me in congratulating them on what they have achieved and wishing them success in their future endeavors. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Brenda Logie, who is our host for this event. Please welcome her at this time.
Good afternoon. I am Brenda Logie, the Career Center School Counselor, and I also warmly welcome you to this long-awaited end-of-the-year celebration of learning. It is now time to recognize students who have completed their programs, and we also recognize those graduating seniors who have participated in a Career Center technical program this year. Program instructors will present their students with their certificates. And since I am also the Scholarship Committee Chair, I will announce the names of scholarship recipients at the end of each program grouping today. We will begin with Construction Technology and instructor Mr. Nick Cantrick.
We got a lot of goodies here. Funny, you're in the classroom and you feel very comfortable, and now all of a sudden I'm in a sea of faces and heart's racing a bit. Welcome. Thank you for coming out and joining us on this celebration of learning. Construction technology is all about building confidence and competence. And that was our motto throughout this year. Each project that we engaged in got us a little bit closer to reaching that mission. Construction Tech 1, half juniors, half seniors. We worked on knockdown sawhorses right from the get-go. It was a tough challenge. Multiple cuts, new orientation to tools, and they tackled it with gusto and accuracy. We used those sawhorses throughout the year. We did a complete shop makeover, completely rearranging the space, getting more organized. Without your efforts, we would not be where we are today. We took on technical projects. We learned the CNC wood router. We did computer-aided design, as well as running the machine in the shop. We did a big shed build, our biggest project to date. We took on not one, but two sheds, not small guys, but big boys that we had to hire out to get moved from frame to finish. It was quite an accomplishment, and you should be proud of yourselves. We did self-designed projects where each individual had to come up with their creative vision of a fine woodworking project. We also visited many job sites and saw many contractors, and that's the real key here. You have a bright future ahead of you. The industry is looking for employees who are confident, engaged in learning, and willing to take that extra step to help themselves move forward. And each one of you has that within you. And one last thing, we all became OSHA 10 certified. Safety is the most important thing. We did a good job of that this year. The Vermont Association of General Contractors is also going to recognize each senior and completer. So they have given us a certificate and a pin that you will take with you today. Remember, with each certificate that you receive, this is a notch in your belt. Use this moving forward. I tell one student often that You need to sell yourselves. Use all of this. You should be proud of your accomplishments. You did a great job this year. So, with that said, I'd like to start recognizing individuals. We'll start with Bill. Where are you? There you are. And forgive me if I pronounce your last name incorrectly. I haven't practiced. Brault?
No.
Tell me.
Bro.
Yeah. Don't let the quiet facade fool you. Bill is not to be underestimated. Behind it all is a craftsman, keen and artistic and good-humored. He can wrap his head around a project quickly and pull off skilled work with little oversight. A shining example of this was his kitchen cabinet self-designed project. A challenging Bill at any level, Bill stretched himself to construct a cabinet for his home kitchen. This build required him to practice precision and compile many moving parts and pieces. He was extremely resourceful and independent during this build, adeptly navigating the challenges. Bill, I have all the faith in the world that you are going to be a shining star in the building world, and I wish you all the best as you explore the vast world. Thank you. Come on up to receive your certificate. Bo Carpenter. When it comes to Bo Carpenter, the name says it all. Bo has a natural talent for building. His technical ability is right up there with the best. When we needed something done right, I knew I could always count on Bo. With an independent drive and motivation, Bo was able to pull off high-quality work efficiently. One of his most laudable creations is a beautiful cherry tabletop. Custom shaping pieces of cherry that he brought from home, he made a seamless glue up. Bo is sharp, taking in new information readily and applying it instantly. Clearly workforce ready. My advice for you, aim high. Your wit and determination will get you far. Thanks for being a great worker, and congratulations on a great year. Cam Castelli. Cam is made for the trades. With many positive influences to glean from, Cam has a bright future learning the craft of building. He shows a willingness to learn, a really beneficial trait. Cam would often come to me with pictures of current builds that he was proud to show off, or new information that he picked up on his own from YouTube. With this desire to learn, Cam was able to meet challenges head on. With that focus, Cam was able to complete everything from technical CNC design challenges to cutting stair stringers on our last week. Not only did he grow his technical skills, but he was one of the most helpful students in class. It didn't go unnoticed. You were always pitching in during cleanup and looking for that little extra something to do. I appreciated that. Congratulations on a successful year, and I look forward to seeing how far you climb. Come on up here. Asher Rubright. Asher's superpower is his ability to adapt. He recognizes opportunities to fit in, careful not to take over, but rather collaborate in a positive manner. Asher's easygoing attitude and good-natured disposition helped contribute to our team's success over and over. It's an important trait moving forward. One highlight from this year was Asher's individual project, a dartboard cupboard. He overcame many challenges during this project and persevered through obstacles to come out the other side with a professional grade finish. In fact, the adult woodworking class personally complimented me on his work and were wondering who completed such a great job. Asher, your composure and individual drive will serve you well moving forward. Congratulations, buddy. Taylor Stearns. Taylor's presence in class was defined by his active spirit. A willing participant in group discussion, group activities, and leading work charges, Taylor helped propel our class forward daily. Taylor is a high achiever. He's going places, and his creativity will help him get there. With one of the most creative self-directed projects, Taylor built a ping pong table from scratch. His attention to detail and finishing touches truly made the project special, and we all had great fun testing it out. Beyond his technical skills, Taylor is a thoughtful thinker and a reflector. He is able to turn his learning inward, gain helpful insights into his growth and development. I can't wait to hear updates on your next steps, and I wish you the best. Thanks, Taylor. Chris Therian. Did I say that right? There you are. Chris is a seasoned career center veteran. Having taken forestry previously, Chris chose to complement those skills with construction technology. I'm really proud that he chose to round out his skill set by taking this class. Chris has an independent drive and seizes opportunities when they present themselves. A clear example of this was his co-op placement with A. Johnson Lumber Company. Taking full advantage of all the Career Center has to offer, he jumped right on the chance to marry his forestry background with the lumber business, becoming one of the first students to gain a job placement this year. Chris is a clear communicator who meets high expectations and shows an independent initiative. His employer evaluations mirror this. Great job on a successful year, and I wish you all the best in the future. Thanks, Chris. Construction Technology 2 was composed of returning juniors from last year. They took the class for 2 straight years, and I'm glad they did, because we had a big project on our plates, a tiny house on wheels. If any of you were able to come by the open house last Friday, it was a huge success. We started framing a tiny house on wheels from scratch last spring, and finally finished just Memorial Day. It was driven down Route 7 all the way to East Dorset, didn't clip any power lines or branches, made it there safely, and now it's resting at its home. Do you realize what you accomplished with that? You built somebody their home. You should feel really proud. Can we all give a round of applause? We hope to do more tiny house builds in the future. Our current one is delayed a bit, but we'll be tackling that next year. I have one student to recognize who's not here, Sam Calaro. Sam is currently on his job. He got a job placement for the year with McIntyre Plumbing. But I want to talk about Sam. From day one, Sam was destined to be out in the field. He has a strong viewpoint and knows what he wants. When the opportunity for a co-op job placement entered the equation, he seized the moment. I truly respect his drive and determination to make a future for himself, navigating every chance he gets to move forward. Whether working on high-performance builds with Smith & McLean or his current position with McIntyre Plumbing, I know Sam will be successful in whatever field he explores, and I'm confident that he will be his own boss someday. Would you agree? Congratulations, Sam. Lucas Phillips. I have one word, dependable. Lucas Phillips defines reliability, and it shined throughout this year. Having taken on the enormous project of building a tiny house on wheels, Lucas was always someone I could count on to show up and get to work. 2 traits that contributed greatly to our success, and 2 traits that your future employers will love. Lucas, the tiny house could not have been accomplished without you. I'm very proud of all you did on this build. Lucas is also very mechanically inclined and has a knack for fixing things. His careful attention to detail and thoroughness will come in handy often in his future. I have no doubt that your home workshop will be a well-oiled machine. Lucas is a thoughtful problem solver, and he will have a fun time exploring his various opportunities that come to him. Lucas, I encourage you to be open to every opportunity, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Congratulations on a great 2 years. Thank you, Lucas. Sam Warren. Sam Warren is a leader, and it shows both in the classroom and outside. He has a calm way about him that allows others to be themselves while gaining the trust and respect of his peers. His ability to organize information, see the big picture, and convey that to his classmates allowed us to take on such a lofty project build. You have a bright future in construction management. Along with his leadership skills, Sam is a talented builder. I could always count on Sam to tackle his work with precision and pace, 2 necessities in the building world. He would easily shoulder extra responsibilities, always seeking to help out any way he could. Sam, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I can't wait to see your name on the side of a big work truck someday. Thanks and congratulations. Derek Forsteveld, ball of energy. If you ever need a pick-me-up, Derek's your guy. He would often come to class with just the right spirit to get our crew going. His beaming personality, along with the tales and stories, got us through many aspects of our year-long build. The true beauty is how we can balance this energy with a great work ethic. Always the optimist, he would often single-handedly pull us through long days of siding or stuffing sheep's wool. One phrase that won't be forgotten, let's really crank today. I'm right there with you. Derek would never back down from a challenge either. Inevitably, someone would need to make the difficult cut or the precision-notched piece, and Derek was right there to step up. In fact, he relished these moments. He had a true sense of pride for that perfect fit. He's a quick study, sharp as a tack, and motivated. Derek, don't forget to call me when you're ready to build your own house someday. I want to help out. Keep up the good work, and thanks for a great year. And that concludes Construction Technology 1 and 2 seniors and completers. Thank you so much.
Would all of the industrial design and fabrication students come up, please? So, our instructor, Mr. Doug Atwood, we learned just a few days ago, was not going to be able to be here today, which is extremely disappointing, but I understand he's online on a live stream. So hi, Doug, we miss you. And maybe some students will want to say something to him as well. But stepping in on his behalf is our Assistant Director, Mr. Jay Stetzel.
All right, thank you everyone. So it's great to have Doug here. So if you guys do want to say hi to him, we can do that on the Zoom back there afterwards. He wrote some things up. So when you hear the words me or I in here, it's not me. It's Mr. Atwood. So we'll start with Isaac Clifford. Isaac is one of those go-to students. He will cheerfully attempt whatever task is asked of him, even though he may not be the student that started that project. He would often, without me asking, help other students on our CNC machinery. Also, he reminds me of me. That's Mr. Atwood. He likes to wash his vehicle more than once a week. Best of luck to you, Isaac. Congratulations. Ansel Coburn. Ansel is one of my cerebral students, quiet but always thinking of different ways of machining interesting parts. He would often come to me and suggest that we purchase a particular tool or attachment for our mini mill so that a particular cutting procedure could be used. The parts that he made were above and beyond what I was able to teach. Best of luck, Ansel. Congratulations. We're missing Tyler, but I'll read Tyler's here. Tyler is a great example of still waters run deep. He is not chatty and most often will answer with a brief yes or no. He picks up new procedures quickly and usually needs very little advanced help in putting those concepts into reality. One of his projects this year was to bring back to life an old motorcycle that had not run in years, and he was successful. Best of luck to you, Tyler. Congratulations. Henry Swann. Henry is another one of my cerebral students, always thinking of all kinds of ways to machine parts or different kinds of machinery that I am not aware of. It has been a pleasure talking with him about all things possible in any venue you might pick. One of my reminders to Henry, your brain is working faster than your hands. You need to take your foot off the gas a little. Best of luck to you, Henry. Congratulations. Loki Vorsteveld. Loki has a great background in farming and the need to be able to reconstruct why something let go or broke, but more importantly, how to make it better. The whole design a better mousetrap is what he's very good at. He and I have traded different stories of how we have been able to upgrade a piece of equipment and the results. Best of luck to you, Loki. Congratulations. So those were all of Doug's second-year students and completers of the Industrial Design and Fabrication program. We now have seniors who have been in the program for just their senior year. Ira Carling. Ira is a combination of slow waters run deep, cerebral thinking, and humor. He has all three, and they are present each day in class. He has come up with some interesting projects, but the one thing I will remember is in the middle of class, he and Ethan will boom out laughter across the lab, which in turn would make me laugh, even though I had no idea what was so funny. Great attitude and student. Best of luck to you, Ira. Congratulations. Ethan Foster. Ethan has this great laugh. I think we just heard about that. I have asked him on a couple of occasions if he's been breathing nitrous oxide laughing gas. He will just laugh and say no. Ethan can be focused when he is machining something, but is very much a social person. He's happy and friendly with all. I would suggest that he look into politics. Who knows, maybe he'll be our next governor. Best of luck to you, Ethan. Congratulations. Ben Moncrief. Ben is another of my cerebral students. He also has amazing penmanship. He will often work with Ansel and Henry, find things off the web, download, convert to G-code file, drop that file on our mini mill and machine apart. He's flying higher in the world of programming than most students. At times it is difficult for me to keep up, which pleased me to see him so focused. Best of luck to you, Ben. Congratulations. Jeb Orvis. Jeb has a great attitude for class. He has come up with a number of different projects to do and seems willing and happy to be working on them. He did have a 6-month problem with a four-wheeler, but as difficult as it was, he stayed focused, worked on it each day, and was successful. He has a great smile that goes along with that great attitude. Best of luck to you, Jeb. Congratulations. And that is all of our student seniors and completers for the Industrial Design and Fabrication program. So, you guys can sit down.
Before I let Ms. Logie come back in, I just wanted to recognize the creativity of the Industrial Design and Fabrication class, and 3 members in particular. As a result of the industriousness that you heard Jay Stetzel talk about with respect to creativity and machining parts and recommending new tools, 3 young men back in November came to me after speaking with Doug about getting a fairly expensive 4th axis for the new mini mill. Those are Ben, Ansel, and Henry. And they came in and they had quite a pitch for me. They said, we really need this. It's going to revolutionize what we're able to do in the Industrial Design and Fabrication class. And they had all of the specs for a particular part that they wanted to order, and they were asking how we might be able to fund that. And I said that the timing was excellent because the Agency of Education had just released a supplemental grant for career and technical ed machining, for equipment. And so they gave me the specs, reached out to one of Doug Atwood's many advisory committee members, and we put that grant together, mostly done by them, and that grant was awarded in December. The part came in, when, gentlemen? January? February? February. So it took a little while for the part, because as is often the case these days with things being on backorder, came in a little bit late. But that contribution was the direct result of student industriousness. And I would like to cite that as an example of what all of our young people can do here at the Hannaford Career Center. Thank you, Ben, Ansel, and Henry, and thank you to all of our seniors and completers for exploring your passions. Take care.
So, one of the duties I get to fulfill each year is being the scholarship committee chair, and it's a lot of fun. We have one scholarship to award at this event, this timing event, and that is the County Tire Scholarship. Steve and Lisa Dupois, owners of County Tire in Middlebury, have long recognized the importance of both on-the-job training and continuing education. They are proud to sponsor the $1,000 County Tire Scholarship for a Career Center student who has demonstrated technical competence in their program and has a commitment to attend post-secondary training in an auto or diesel-related program. Here to present this year's award is Lisa Dupois.
County Tire Scholarship is awarded to Isaac Clifford. Isaac has completed Intro to STEM in 10th grade and is a completer of the 2-year Industrial Design program at the Career Center. Isaac plans to attend Vermont Technical College to study diesel power technology. Congratulations, Isaac.
For the final remarks, I turn it back to Mr. Jay Stetzel.
So congratulations again to our industrial design and fabrication students and our construction technology students. If we could give them one more round of applause. Thank you all for being a part of the Career Center. You make Hannaford what it is, and you allow us to learn each day. Remember that we're always here for you, whether you need help with an application or you need a reference. We also like to hear what you're up to. We often highlight alumni in our monthly newsletter, so reach out to your instructor, let them know what you're doing, and we'd be happy to include them. So go out there and make us proud. But more importantly, go out there, do what you love, and make yourselves proud. This concludes this part of the ceremony. We do have some cookies that the culinary students made that you can pick up if you'd like, some water, those sorts of things. We also encourage you to stay around and mingle for a little while. We do have another program coming in after this, but you're welcome to stay and chat and all of that. So thank you all for coming, and we hope you have a safe and happy summer. Thank you.